Great white sharks have patrolled the oceans for 11 million years, long before humans ever thought of a boat. This ancient terror ruled the deep, a primal ghost. We humans, we're a mere 300,000 years old, a blink of an evolutionary eye. This isn't just a fish. It's a primal fear wired into our DNA over 10,000 generations. They hunt not by sight, but by sensing a single drop of blood from 10 kilometers away, making the whole ocean their hunting ground. Your nose smells bad. Theirs smells everything. A great white replaces teeth up to 50,000 times in its life. Humans get 32 permanent ones. Evolution clearly played favorites there. Growing up to 6 meters and weighing over 2,000 kilograms, a great white generates enough force to crush bone effortlessly. Think a small car trying to bite you. Its skin is covered in thousands of dermal denticles, tiny V-shaped scales reducing drag by 8.4%, optimizing its shape. This biological wetsuit makes it a silent, faster torpedo. This perfection lets it maintain a body temperature 14 degrees Celsius warmer than the surrounding water. So a warm-blooded predator in a cold-blooded world? Unfair. It boosts muscle power, enabling bursts exceeding 56 kilometers per hour during predatory lunges. Your fastest sprint looks like a crawl. And its eye, though not its primary tool, adapts across 1,000 meters of depth, seeing the darkness we can't comprehend. These apex predators dominate open oceans, ensuring marine ecosystem balance by regulating seal and sea lion populations. They're the ocean's ultimate managers, and frankly, they're doing a bang-up job. For 3,000 years, islanders have understood the shark's complex nature. The great white was revered as a god, an ancestor, and a guardian. Master navigators who settled this vast ocean saw them as protectors, their world a tapestry woven with awe and terror. Polynesian traditions knew sharks as aumakua, deified ancestors guiding their canoes, a living link to family history. They read shark behavior like a maritime traffic signal, their presence indicating rich fishing or dangerous currents. Yet, this reverence was always balanced by stark fear. The great white was also the nuhi, the relentless man-eater, demanding respect and ritual appeasement. Myths depicted the nuhi with teeth like obsidian blades, capable of cleaving a canoe in two. A human bite, by contrast, barely breaks a carrot. Archaeological digs have uncovered fishing hooks, some nearly 10 centimeters long, crafted to land these ocean titans. How did they prepare for a god that could also eat them? Taboos, like not eating certain shark parts, preserved ecological balance. That's 3 millennia of conservation. From Hawaii to Aotearoa, shark imagery adorns ancient carvings, this dual reverence forging island identity. For remote atoll dwellers, accounts suggest 1 in 3 drownings involved shark interaction, a terrifying 33% statistic for seafarers. From Tonga to Samoa, ancestral sharks received tribute at sacred coastal shrines for protection on voyages. Rituals guided shark hunters wielding specialized spears, some over 3 meters long, taller than 2 average humans. This deep knowledge, accumulated over millennia, helped forecast migrations. In some Hawaiian societies, the shark was a royal emblem, reserved for chiefs, a symbol of power and dominion. Appeasement rituals, with offerings of kava or specific fish, were common to prevent nuhi attacks. Back in 77 AD, Pliny the Elder wrote about a creature so fearsome he called it a sea dog that tore divers to shreds. To the Romans, rulers of the known world, this predator was a nameless terror, a sea dog from a realm they could never really control. The mighty Roman Empire, built on conquest and incredible logistics, found their dominion stopped dead at the water's edge. All across the vast Mediterranean, their perfectly planned trade routes, stretching thousands of kilometers from Carthage to Alexandria, were stalked by a chaotic force they couldn't name or comprehend. Rome knew land animals inside and out, cataloging hundreds of species, yet their ocean knowledge offered only a few mythical sea monsters. This deep-seated fear, fueled by stories of unseen horrors, influenced Roman maritime superstitions for centuries. The shark, a creature evolved for pure efficiency and terror, operated on a sensory level Rome could only imagine. Its sense of smell could detect one drop of blood in 100 liters of water, catching a scent from kilometers away. Rome's grain fleet alone required over 1,200 large ships sailing each year, a constant buffet for an apex predator designed for maximum destruction. Imagine being a Roman sailor. You'd conquered Gaul with disciplined legions, but a shadow in the water made your entire trireme feel terrifyingly vulnerable. Your shield and gladius were suddenly useless against something engineered by pure chaos. A mare monstrum, a catch-all for the horrors lurking just beneath the empire's smooth surface. On land, Rome was order, law, and legions. The ocean, however, was a terrifying blue void where their rules simply didn't apply. "4,000 psi isn't just pressure. It's a precisely engineered force built for one thing: catastrophic damage. This is nature's multi-tool of mastication, far beyond your average chomp. Its triangular teeth, each a microscopic obsidian blade, are arranged in multiple rows, with up to 300 present at any moment. If one is lost, no sweat, another slides into place within days, a perpetual replacement policy for its dental work. Its torpedo-like body is pure muscle, a marvel of hydrodynamics designed for explosive ambush attacks. Think organic missile, not just fish. When it strikes, it can breach over 3 meters out of the water, a leap as high as a minivan. Its speed can reach 56 kilometers per hour in short bursts, while an Olympic swimmer tops out at about 8. Wild, isn't it? This creature's skull isn't bone, but lighter, flexible cartilage, allowing for an incredibly wide, devastating gape. Your own jaw muscles max out at around 162 psi, a world away from this. Its enormous liver, sometimes 25% of its body weight, acts as an oily fuel tank for relentless patrolling. Nature really went all out here. For camouflage, it's cloaked in countershading, dark gray above and white below, perfect for both the deep abyss and sunlit surface. Its skin isn't smooth either. It's covered in dermal denticles, tiny tooth-like scales that reduce drag, making its movement eerily silent. Scientists in shark cages often find them looking like mangled shopping carts. Imagine possessing that kind of firepower. What a machine. Imagine detecting an electrical field so small it's 5 nanovolts, that's 5 billionths of a single volt. Nature just said, why not? The shark's sixth sense, the ampullae of Lorenzini, is a network of tiny jelly-filled pores on its snout, acting like biological voltmeters. This uncanny sensitivity lets them pinpoint prey hidden from sight, like a stingray doing its best impression of a sedimentary rock. It's like being able to see the electrical hum of every device in your house, even through solid walls. This isn't just hunting, it's biological electronic warfare, a ghost sense capable of detecting a panicked heartbeat from over 300 meters away. To put that 5 nanovolt sensitivity in perspective, it's like detecting the flicker of a flashlight battery from 600 kilometers away, a distance roughly equal to driving from Los Angeles to Denver. This ability transforms the vast ocean into a personal hunting ground, making spots like Mexico's the Guadalupe Island legendary. You can play dead, you can hold your breath, but you can't stop your own nervous system's electrical chatter. The shark, sensing this faint current, rolls its eyes back during the final blind charge, a hunter guided by an unseen world. Its snout is a living sensor dome, a marvel studded with around 1,500 pores, creating a 3D electrical map. Even more astoundingly, these sensors double as thermometers, detecting temperature shifts as minute as 1/200th of a degree Celsius, far more sensitive than your average bathwater check. Scientists first documented this ability in 1678, but its electroreceptive function remained a mystery for nearly 3 centuries, baffling even the sharpest minds. "30,000 newtons of thrust. That's the ocean's most spectacular ambush, a 2-ton missile of muscle and teeth launched from the abyss. It's a full-body launch, a physics-defying leap where the great white becomes a torpedo breaking free of the water. The sheer power behind this breach is staggering. It accelerates from 30 meters deep to over 40 kilometers per hour in mere moments. This kinetic explosion generates over 100,000 newtons of pure force, enough to hurl its entire massive body skyward. Consider this. Your brain has one heart, yet this shark's caudal fin alone can snap a smaller animal's spine with every powerful stroke. The whole aerial ballet, from its deep-sea origin to its triumphant re-entry, can be over in less than 2 seconds. That's faster than your blink. Near Seal Island, off the coast of South Africa, breaches happen an astonishing 60 times each day during peak season. That's a daily spectacle of terror. These attacks are strategically aimed at young, inexperienced seals, an easier meal and a less risky endeavor. Still, only about 48% of these impressive leaps actually result in a successful hunt for the predator, a testament to the energy cost. Marine biologists, with all their high-tech gear, only captured clear footage of these breaches in the 1990s. They were frankly stunned by the spectacle. Evolution had ideas. A shark's skin, covered in dermal denticles, actually reduces drag by 8.4% during these explosive maneuvers. Nature optimized for terror. A great white's partially cartilaginous spine allows for incredible flexibility, twisting and contorting mid-air. The impact force from a breaching shark can equal that of a small car colliding with a wall at 20 kilometers per hour. Imagine this, 70%. That's how much great white populations plummeted in some areas, all after one movie. A cinematic monster, born from fiction, did more damage to the great white's survival than millennia of sailors' tales combined. In 1975, Hollywood unleashed pure terror. Steven Spielberg's Jaws wasn't just a film. It was a cultural atomic bomb, painting the great white as an intelligent, vengeful man-eater. This fictional narrative spurred real-world panic, launching organized shark hunts and ridiculous Jaws-themed fishing tournaments. Before Jaws, great whites were considered stable. Afterward, boom, populations crashed. Peter Benchley, the author of the novel, later became a shark conservationist, totally regretting his story's monster mashup. It's taken decades for scientists to battle this phantom of Amity Island's creature, still fighting the ghost of a movie monster. Jaws wasn't just a hit, it was the first summer blockbuster, pulling in a colossal $472 million. In the decade after its release, some Atlantic great white populations were down a gutting 90%, thanks to trophy hunters. Creepy, right? The film's shark was a vengeful stalker, a motivation completely impossible for an animal driven by instinct. Think about it. The fear Jaws installed is a software glitch in our brains, pushed by a fake shark story. This species, a classic case strategist, doesn't even hit sexual maturity until they're 15 years old. One Hollywood script managed to rebrand an 11-million-year-old species into a global villain for everyone who just wanted to surf. 2015 survey showed a shocking 51% of people still had increased shark fear because of the film. Eugenie Clark, a pioneering marine biologist, spent her life fighting this, calling the movie a terrible, terrible shame. The chance of being killed by a shark sits at a startling 1 in 3.7 million. That's incredibly rare. You're vastly more likely to suffer a bizarre vending machine mishap. Our deepest fears often stem from a fundamental misunderstanding. What we label attacks are mostly investigatory bites. Sharks using their sensitive mouths to figure out something unfamiliar. They aren't targeting your surfboard. They're basically asking, what is this odd, firm thing? From below. From 30 meters down, a person on a board looks a lot like a seal lounging on the surface. Honestly, humans are a pretty terrible meal for a great white. We're too bony and lack the fatty blubber of their usual prey. It's a clear case of mistaken identity. Made worse by poor vision, a shark's sight is 10 times less sharp than ours. The force behind these bites is a fraction of their 4,000 psi potential, more of a firm probe than a lethal crush. Acoustic tagging data from 2020 reveals sharks regularly pass within meters of swimmers at popular beaches, completely unnoticed and entirely unbothered. We imagined a movie villain, but the reality is we share our waters with a powerful, ancient creature that largely keeps to itself. Even when an interaction occurs, most aren't attacks. Only about 15% of all documented encounters lead to any kind of bite. When these mistaken identity bites happen, sharks usually let go after just one exploratory touch. This learned response is key. Globally, the average number of unprovoked shark bites remains remarkably low, around 70 each year. Most of these don't lead to serious injury. Of those 70 incidents annually, fewer than 10% are fatal. So, survivability is actually quite high. We've built up such an image of the great white shark that we're now dangerously close to destroying the very icon we created. In the North Atlantic alone, great white shark populations have plummeted by over 70% in just 20 years. That's a generational collapse, a terrifying speed for an animal that had perfected its hunting for 11 million years. And their main threat isn't bigger predators, but our own discarded fishing nets and pollution. These apex predators, masters of the ocean for millennia, are now outmaneuvered by a plastic fishing net invented last Tuesday. The vast majority of great whites aren't even hunted directly. They're accidental bycatch, snagged by fisheries targeting tuna and swordfish. It's an absurd irony. The ultimate symbol of ocean terror is now a species struggling to survive our modern world. The Pacific White Shark Cafe, a vital migration hub, now sadly overlaps with international longline fish corridors. Globally, an estimated 100 million sharks of all species are killed annually. That averages out to over 11,000 every single hour. The brutal demand for shark fin soup drives an industry where fins are sliced off living sharks, which are then tossed overboard. Yes, that's as grim as it sounds. The very fear we cultivated actually led to government-sanctioned culls and a surge in trophy hunting, making it seem heroic to kill them. In 2005, thankfully, the great white was listed under CITES Appendix 2, a crucial step in regulating international trade to prevent further decline. Consider this. A living great white can generate over $1 million in ecotourism revenue over its lifespan. A dead one? Just fins. A single great white shark locks away 1.5 metric tons of carbon on the ocean floor when it dies, acting as a massive living carbon sink. Their survival, far from being a threat to us, is actually a crucial indicator of our planet's oceanic health. For ages, we've painted them as monsters, omens of disaster. Yet, how does a creature with only cartilage, no bones, become the ultimate emblem of the ocean's might? Their immense weight, often over 5,000 pounds, powers incredible endurance, with their livers serving as vast, oily reservoirs. These giants, even one as famous as Deep Blue, are now tracked using non-invasive laser photogrammetry, a stark contrast to the harpoons of the past. We spent 2 millennia inventing terrifying myths about this predator, only to spend less than 50 years desperately trying to save it from extinction. Those tiny, tooth-like structures covering their skin, called dermal denticles, reduce drag and turbulence by a remarkable 7%, turning them into pure hydrodynamic efficiency. Some scientists now suggest great whites actually form complex social groups, traveling with companions, a notion that completely shatters the solitary killer image. We've reframed the ultimate predator into an icon of resilience, a symbol we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Without these keystone predators keeping watch, the entire ocean ecosystem is at risk. Honestly, judging a great white by its infrequent attacks is like assessing a city's entire power grid based on one squirrel getting zapped. Populations have already dropped by more than 70% in certain areas within the last 50 years. As these animals vanish, the ocean's delicate equilibrium is thrown into chaos, affecting everything from kelp forests to smaller fish stocks.